Some stories don't start with heartbreak, they start with hope. A woman messaged us recently, and when I read her words, I felt her pain through the screen. She wasn't asking for anything extravagant, just help. For her husband. She had reached the end of her own resources, but her faith hadn't run dry. She'd spent months praying, crying, networking, even messaging strangers, hoping someone would give him a job. She truly believed that if he got a second chance, they'd rise, together. But today, her message is very different, and it's short. Please don't help my husband with a job again. Let poverty finish him. That one sentence carries years of frustration, silent suffering, and a betrayal that shook her to the core. This woman didn't come from a place of bitterness. Her story begins with love. Genuine love. She believed in her husband. She carried the weight of both their futures on her shoulders. She prayed late into the night, fasted during the day, joined prayer groups, spiritual retreats, therapy sessions, anything that could help him out of the rut. When he lost his job, she comforted him. When he lost confidence, she became his cheerleader. And when people started whispering behind their backs, she defended him fiercely. He's just going through a rough patch, she'd say. Once he's back on his feet, you'll see. But what she didn't know was this: the man she was fighting for had already betrayed her in the worst way. It happened during the holidays. She had hired a hairdresser to come to their home and braid her daughter's hair, and hers too. The atmosphere was festive. The kids were home. Decorations were up. She was trying to create joy in a home where stress had lived rent-free all year. But days later, while cleaning up, she found her husband's phone unlocked. Curiosity turned to concern when she saw a message from the hairdresser. And then, pictures, messages, voice notes. It didn't take long to piece things together. Her husband, the same man she was begging others to help, had been sleeping with that very hairdresser under their roof during the holidays. And worse, he had given her money, nearly everything he had asked his wife for just days earlier. When she confronted him, there was no apology, no remorse, just silence. And that silence screamed louder than any confession. She later found out he had asked her for $100, claiming it was for a job lead. She gave it, thinking, finally, something is happening. Turns out, he gave $90 of it to the hairdresser. Whether it was to impress her, sleep with her, or both, who knows? But what we do know is this: her trust shattered that day. She had poured herself out emotionally, financially, and spiritually for this man. And all he gave in return was dishonor. Let's step back a bit. For months, maybe even years, this woman had been the sole provider. She runs her own business, pays most of the bills, takes care of the kids, keeps the household running. And instead of appreciation, she gets infidelity. And the worst kind, one that feels like betrayal with a side of mockery. She welcomed that young woman into her home, trusted her, paid her. And now she's just another casualty in a story that's playing out in far too many homes, the loyal partner holding it all together while the other person burns it all down. After the discovery, she didn't act out in rage. She didn't destroy property or shout. No, she did something more powerful. She made a decision. A cold, calculated decision. She contacted her relatives, people who were once sympathetic to her husband's plight, and told them to withdraw any help. No more job referrals. No more financial support. No more prayers. Let poverty finish him, she said. And it wasn't spiteful. It was survival. Because sometimes, when someone keeps dragging you down, the most loving thing you can do is let go. She also reported the hairdresser to her supervisor, not out of jealousy, but principle. If someone's bold enough to betray the trust of a paying client, they shouldn't be in people's homes. The supervisor was shocked, but not surprised. Turns out this wasn't her first offense. She'd been caught with other clients' husbands too. The woman lost her job. But again, that wasn't the main pain. The real heartbreak was the man. Her husband. The one she'd prayed for. Fought for. Covered in public even when she was crying in private. And here's where the story gets deeper. This wasn't his first betrayal. Months before, she had seen a strange message from a woman at his gym. At the time, she brushed it off. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe she was being paranoid. But now, everything makes sense. The emotional distance. The mood swings. The entitlement. He wasn't just lost. He was lost and enjoying it. And as she looked back, she realized something painful. She had been married to a man she didn't really know anymore. Let's ask the hard question. What kind of person cheats when they're being supported and uplifted? When someone is bending over backwards to make sure you survive, how do you repay them with betrayal? Some people say it's a man thing, others say it's just temptation. But here's the truth. Character matters more than circumstance. If you're loyal only when you're broke, then your loyalty was never real. It was convenience. This man failed not because he was unemployed. He failed because he lacked integrity. The woman has stopped praying for him. She's done. And honestly, who can blame her? You can't save someone who's committed to drowning. You can't fix someone who benefits from being broken. She's now channeling her energy into herself, her kids, her business, her peace. And even though it hurts, she says she feels lighter. That's what happens when you stop carrying someone else's weight and start healing your own wounds. This story is not just about one man. It's about all of us, men and women, who give too much to people who give us so little in return. It's about realizing that love without respect is dangerous. That loyalty, when one-sided, becomes a trap. And that sometimes walking away is not weakness, it's wisdom. Because when someone shows you who they are, you don't need to wait for confirmation. You just need to believe them the first time. To our audience, what would you do if you were in this woman's shoes? Could you forgive? Would you give him one more chance? Or shut the door completely? And do you believe poverty is enough punishment for a man like this? Or is that just the beginning? Let's open the floor. The comment section is yours. We want to hear from you, your advice, your experiences, your truth. And if you're watching this and you've gone through something similar, send us your story. This is the Untold Gist, where we share the real stories people are too ashamed to tell out loud. You never know who might be encouraged by your truth. No shame. No judgment. Just raw, honest conversations. Your story matters here. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with someone who might need to hear it. This isn't just gossip, this is healing through storytelling. The more we talk about these things, the more we learn. The more we grow. The more we protect ourselves from walking into emotional traps dressed as love. And finally, to the woman who sent us this story, you are strong. You are not stupid. You are not naive. You simply love someone who didn't love you well. And now, you're choosing peace. That's power. That's strength. And to anyone listening, let this be your reminder. Stop setting yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. Let them face their cold until they learn to build their own fire.